live, and they always do this in the semifinals and the championship game. They'll bring both teams to the ground rules meeting, and the umpires will go over a few things with them. Again, this is going to be Taft versus Payton, and Taft has been in the championship game the last 4 years. They just can't seem to get over the hump. And we'll see. Payton, of course, trying to repeat. We're down here because this is the main diamond, and we definitely would like not to do a lot of traveling. And of course, the SSA will have pizza and other things for the winning for all of these teams, and we did bring drinks for them. So we're trying to take care of these youngsters and get them to feel a little love, and hopefully the video isn't going to cut out. So a little overcast here. We're hoping to get these two ball games in without the rain. If you were watching the Vegas Big Ball Getaway tournament, that is going to be streamed whenever they get to their championship game on the SSA Facebook page. This particular game live on YouTube. So if you want to toggle back and forth and maybe go and catch out the end of the Vegas tournament, if you watched a little of that earlier, you can certainly do that. So the SSA in two places at once, and it should be a lot of fun. So just hang in there with us, and it should be okay. So they're just going to get ready. I am going to kind of reach out to George Bliss, so just hang in there with me. I might be a little distracted. And I got to send George a quick text, so bear with me, folks. So a little dead air here. Hey, how are you, Jack? And we're back. You got my full undivided attention. So we saw a high school legend. Oh, he's going over there to the outhouse, Jack Nakanishi. If any of you guys want to watch the stream, it's on YouTube. Yeah, SSA broadcast on YouTube.
Out of the game, we were watching on TV.
Yeah,
The last game.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. I had a weird thing pop up on my feed, and then I didn't lose the audio. Right, so I think I got it corrected. So we should get through a whole ball game now. Hopefully, two.
Do a great job, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So just chit-chatting with a couple of, I assume, Payton fans, and Taft has got some fans down the left field line as they are in the third base dugout, Payton in the first base dugout, so they got their fans down here along the foul line. And we are going to have pizza for the kids, like I said, hopefully getting here around 6:30ish. And we do have water and some pop for them, so whenever they're done, they can kind of get refreshed and rejuvenated. So this should be a good one. Both of these teams very solid programs. And a couple of notes. I think I put up my program notes, and apparently in 2001 on the media notes, I had Lane Tech winning that year, but it was Washington. Didn't mean to slight the Washington fans. And so a couple other tidbits for you. Tommy Angston, the coach for Taft, has won this tournament as a player, and he has not won one as a coach yet. The only person to do that, George Stavrakos, and he has won it both as a player and as a coach. So just some interesting tidbits for you. And the guy that has won the most as a coach was Jerry Grohl. So just some interesting tidbits for you. Lights are on. This is Chicago 16-inch style softball, 60-foot bases, leadoff can't steal. You're seeing it correct. No gloves. We're breaking them in young to play without the gloves out here in Chicago. 612 on the arc, 38 from the rubber to the point of home plate. They can swing heavy bats up to 38 ounces, 34 inches long, 2.25 on the barrel. Because we're playing no glove, pitcher gets a drag step, one step left, right, or back. Two fakes or hesitation. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. A throw or fake to a base is one of your fakes or hesitations. No fence. So it's all you can get out here. And we are about to be underway. So leading off, a little bit of a difference. Tyler, the pitcher, was hitting second the other day. I believe he's leading off tonight. And here's the first pitch of the ball game. We're underway. And he grabs a strike. And very methodical home plate umpire there. Took a good long look at it and then called it a strike. Illegal, as that was well above the 12-foot high range. And Taft has got, and there's a line drive, and Tyler hammers it, gets past the left fielder. Tyler off to the races, and he's going to stop. So no fences, but we have had some rain earlier today, and the grass not quite as quick. You could see that ball got past them, but didn't quite roll. So leadoff double here is Payton trying to put a little pressure here. And there's a little chopper up the middle, short center, little bobble, can't make the play. Everybody's safe. So, and again, I am getting some, I think, cross chats here, maybe from George Bliss's stream, because I see there's a Facebook comment, and this stream's only going to YouTube. And George, I don't think, can see the comments. So there's a little slow tap, but it rolls foul. So Tyler leads off with a double. Nick, hard hit ball, little bobble safe. And there's runners on the corner with Jack on base. So hopefully this stream is going out to YouTube. If anybody's watching there, drop me a chat. And if you are watching the other stream on Facebook, cruise over to our YouTube page. And there's a pickoff play, hits the runner. Go to YouTube and search SSA Broadcast. Tell me if it's live and drop me a chat. I'd be curious to see. First time we've ever tried to do two simultaneous streams. And there's a little roller to third. It is going to score the first run. Nice play, throw across, safe. So nice play there by the third baseman to come in and make the play at first. Another nice play by the first baseman. Strong throw across. But couldn't get the runner at third. So now there's two outs and a runner on third. And there's a line drive base hit. So that's going to score the second run as Jared comes through and Payton up to an early 2-0 lead. Brings up Rowan. Now the other day, runs were tough to come by in that Payton Lindblom game we showed you. But Payton already with a quick two here, and there's a ground ball. Oh, my bad. I thought there were two, only one out. They get the fielder's choice. So 2 outs, Rowan on, brings up Evan.
Two guys, Rowan.
So talking to Tony Scriven, one of the assistant coaches, and we told you a lot of teams don't really try pickoffs. The pitcher here for Taft, Calvin Malarski, is already with two, and there's a chopper to the shortstop, backtracks, long throw, pulled him off the bag. Rowan's going to head to third, and he'll stop there. So the shortstop kind of backtracked. He didn't charge it. And he tried to throw across his body, and he yanked the throw wide. And I think that'll bring up Curtis. And Curtis, a ground ball to the shortstop, a little bobble, safe, but now they got him in a rundown, and they'll tag the runner at second. And that should be the third run. That's a timing play in the sense that, and the umpires will talk about it, but what happened there is theoretically, if you get the fielder's choice, but that runner already established second base, so it's really not a timing play. So we'll check the score here as Tony Scriven comes over. Tony, that last run count? Last run count on that? So Tony will go check. And I was talking to Tony a little bit. Yeah, I think they're saying 3. Now, had they gone directly to second before the runner established, so it is 3. Now, had they gone directly to second before the runner got there, it would have been a fielder's choice end of the inning, but the runner beat the play there and then made a wide turn. So at that point, there's no fielder's choice. So leading off, Lucas Espinoza for Taft. Talking to this guy, Tony Scriven, he said he's been here 4 years. And 4 years ago, they had a lot of freshmen who are now seniors. And Tony kind of felt 4 years ago at some point this group was going to win one. And we'll see if this is the year. And there's a little punch the other way, and that ball is going to be foul. So that'll be an out as he already had a strike. Brings up Chris Gonzalez. He'll be followed by Carlos Gonzalez. And I think if you're Taft, I think what you got to fight a little bit is kind of negative juju up in the attic. Because when you've been here 4 years in a row and haven't been able to seal the deal, and then you fall behind, sometimes you can have that tendency to fall into that negative thought process. And there's a swing and a ground ball hit to the short center. He bobbles it. And that'll be a first base runner for Taft. So these are extremely big cut infields. And sometimes at the high school level, they're not used to playing on really big diamonds. And we've seen a couple of infielders trying to get a little deeper, and they're not charging the ball, and as a result, they're getting extra hops. And here's another ground ball. Second baseman does handle it, and they get to play at first. So Carlos Gonzalez grounds out to second for out number 2, and it brings up Andrew Carolus. And even though we're only in the first, that runner out there is pretty important. Because like I said, Taft hasn't been able to get one, and there's a base hit, and Taft picks up a big 2-out run. And they break the seal and get on the board here. So Andrew Carolus, he's got a big AK. And then it says 47. So here comes Colin Daly. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Second baseman, a slight fumble, but he recovers. So Taft does push a run across. They make it 3-1, and we'll head to the top of the second. Again, the winner here will play for the championship. So we'll see what happens here in the second. It'll be Neal. And Neal, a little soft liner, nice play there by the second baseman as he makes the catch just above the turf. And we'll try to show you the replay here, because I kind of forgot we had the replay. We had so much stuff going on. And nice catch there with the hands. So Neal, soft line out, it brings up Leo. And you can see Taft up and yelling on every pitch. And that pitch is a little deep. So getting back to, like we said, Tony Scriven. And there he called it illegal. He swung at it anyway, and he punches a base hit up the middle. So one out base runner here brings up Shanta at the top of the lineup, looming. So the winner of this game will play for the 2025 championship. And that pitch is a little deep. So one out, one on here, top of the second. And just a little long, second base runner. So the bottom of the Payton lineup chipping in here. They put a couple of runners on, and it brings up Tyler, who hammered a double down the left field line his last time up. And that pitch is a little high, so home plate's starting to jump around a little bit on Calvin, the pitcher. And I got to be careful because Calvin's attempted a couple of pickoffs here, and I'm right in his line of sight. And there's a swing. He hits it down the line again. Nice running catch by the left fielder, and he guns it in to prevent any attachment. Good run there by the left fielder as Tyler yanked it hard again down that line, but he got there on a dead sprint and got it in quickly. So it brings up Nick, safe on a bobble his first time up, and he hits it right up the elevator shaft. Center fielder is there, and he makes the catch. So little mini threat. Payton can't do anything with it, and we'll head to the bottom of the second. Taft trailing by 2. And it'll be Elliot Bresnahan, Adam Sadeh, and Brian DeCastris. First 3 scheduled hitters. And we are, of course, in Hamlin Park, our 3rd time this summer for a tournament up here, tucked in a residential neighborhood right off of Damon in Chicago. And so we're very familiar with this park. Rich Blake, kind enough to work with CPS and the SSA. And so here's the leadoff man, and he swings and flips it opposite field for a leadoff hit. So Elliot Bresnahan leads off with a hit. And so here's Adam Sadeh. And that's why that run in the first was important. It kind of keeps you mentally plugged in. And called that illegal too. And now the catcher didn't see it. Of course, illegal is a dead ball, and there's a ground ball, and he hammers it to the left side. Left fielder gets it in. So little threat here as the first 2 hitters reach. Brings up Brian DeCastris.
Let's go, Brian, let's go!
And Taft here. And there's a hard ground ball. Little bobble by the shortstop. And the bases are loaded. Again, as some of these kids get a little older, they'll realize they need to charge the ball. So far we've seen infielders on both teams. Bases loaded, nobody out for Danny Ramos. And they're all playing deep, and they're getting kind of that extra hop. And there's a little infield pop caught by the pitcher for out number 1. And so the little infield pop-up now brings up Jason Burgos. And if you're Payton, you're kind of hoping you can maybe twist a double play here and wiggle off a massive hook. And I don't know what was, somebody was yelling time. And now there's a roller to the pitcher. He's going to come home, and they'll get to fielder's choice for out number 2. Again, the ball was topped very slowly. Don't know if they could have turned, but he took the easy out, and it brings up the pitcher, Calvin. So Payton 1 out away from sneaking out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. And he threw a pitch there, and the runner was not on base. And something going on down at the other side of the ball game, and now the umpire is going to come out. Sometimes if you're a player and you exit, you go to the dugout, you can sometimes be called as forfeiting the base or the position. So, and he's out. That's going to be a double play. So the hitter did not realize he was safe because they came home and he went back into the dugout. And now the Taft coach is going to talk about it. But if you exit the field of play, you in essence forfeit. They can call you out, and that's what they did. Again, I thought it was odd because all of a sudden the runners started coming back onto the field. And that's what the umpire said. Once you go to the dugout, you're out. So very strange play. I don't believe I've ever seen that before. But as we head to the top of the third, and you want to talk about a Houdiniac getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam, that was it. So it's going to be Jared, and Rowan. There's a ground ball, and it goes through the shortstop. So a little ground ball. That time there was no hop. It just hugged the carpet. Shortstop stood up a little too soon. Brings up Jared. And there's another, and they got him. And we'll take another look at that. That was pretty slick there. A little behind the back action on the pickoff right in your living room. And I think that if you're a base runner, here it comes, right on the money. And as we get back to live play, Jared pounds one into left center for a triple. They're going to send him. High throw. And Jared hits a solo homer. And we'll see what we got on this replay. And he airmailed it into left center field for a solo shot. And Payton jumps up 4-1. And it brings up Rowan. So they move a little quicker here in high school than they do in our regular broadcasts in terms of hitters getting in the box. And that replay, we kind of got cut off a little bit. And there's a ground ball by Rowan, bobbled by the third baseman, no play. So right now, Taft, a lot of self-inflicted damage. And I don't know what happened. And I think that on the follow-through, Rowan released the bat, so the umpire told him basically gave him a warning and said, "You got to be careful." And Rowan shakes his head and says, "Okay." So that's going to bring up Evan. So right now, the difference in the game is Taft a little loose with the ball. And that's pretty nice, too. Strike three, and they don't get the pick. So Calvin's got all kinds of junk in his golf bag. Behind the back pickoff was looking at the runner and threw strike three to the plate. If you're out there, guys, I know he's only in high school, but keep an eye on this kid. It looks like he's got an idea of what he's doing on the hill. And that's going to bring up Curtis.
Good eye, good eye.
And there's a strike. And Rowan takes off 3-2 and a little pop-up, and that's probably going to roll foul, and it does. So little infield spinner rolls foul for out number 3, but we head to the bottom of the third. Payton by 3. Yeah, Taft needs to tighten up their defense a little bit. And they have had some, the brain cramp with the bases loaded. So it's going to be the pitcher, Calvin. Then it'll be the top of the order with Lucas Espinoza and Chris Gonzalez. Bottom of the third here. Again, semifinal game, 2025 CPS boys 16-inch city playoffs, live from Hamlin Park. So Calvin takes a strike. Little overhand swing, that's going to drift foul over by the parents for the first out. And brings up Lucas Espinoza. If anybody is watching live on YouTube, please drop a comment in there. I want to see if I'm getting any of the comments from YouTube or not. If not, I'll try to correct my settings because I know George can't see the chat. And there's a little pop-up, and that is caught for out number 2. Brings up Chris Gonzalez, and, we saw Payton in their win over Lindblom was hitting some fly balls, and both teams have been having a little trouble on ground balls, and I think you want to make, whether you're Payton or Taft, you want to make the other guy have to catch it and throw it and catch it a second time. And seeing way too many soft outs here by Taft early in the game. As a fan flips it in. Meanwhile, you got Lane Tech and Farragut on the other diamond. And the winner of that game will play the winner of this for all the marbles. And there's an overhand swing, but center fielder comes in and makes the catch. So they go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to head to the fourth. 4-1. Leading off here, little pop-up Long run, second baseman got there. Nicely done. So the leadoff hitter, Neal, pops up to start this inning. And that's going to bring up Leo. And there's a strike. So we're approaching the halfway point. And there's a little swing and a swung right through it for out number 2. And it brings up Shanta. And you can see they're really moving the game along. And the umpire's telling them don't throw the ball around because they want to make sure they can get both of these games in. So it brings up Shanta, the first baseman. And I tell you, Calvin settled in really nicely. And even though he's given up 4, he deserves a little better fate. And there's a ground ball. Nice hop, nice play. So they go 1, 2, 3, halfway through. Payton trying to repeat, leading 4-1 in this semifinal game. So it's going to be 3-4-5 coming up for Taft. Carlos Gonzalez, Andrew Carolus, and Colin Daly. And I really like the fact that both Eddie Curry and the CPS staff, excuse me, along with the umpires, keep a tight lid in terms of the structure and the discipline in terms of how these events run. And they tend to run very, very smoothly. So for all our fans out there who are playing major or high level A, you could take a little notice. So halfway through here, Taft looking to get their offense jump started. They're in a good part of their lineup, 3-4-5. So Taft is still engaged. Everybody on their squad is up against the fence. And there's a strike, full count. And it's good and it's bad that you're taking pitches, but and that pitch way outside, so he did get the walk. But I think sometimes you can go into that we need base runner passive mode. And with the 1-1 count, it becomes a little tougher. So here's Andrew Carolus. And Andrew hammers it toward the gap, and that's going to get over the top. Rowan got a hand on it. 1 run is going to score. Carolus, now they're going to send them. 2-run homer. Andrew Carolus. That ball got up, it stayed up. Rowan got a hand on it. And they were off to the races, 4-3. So again, we don't have much of a breeze, if any, out here. The forecast was it was supposed to be windy all day today, but not at Hamlin Park. So a walk and a bomb gets Taft right back into this, and it brings up Colin Daly, the catcher. And home plate starting to jump around a little bit on Tyler. He's been working from behind this inning. And catches a deep strike there. And somebody's got a clacker. And there's a little roller to first. Nobody at first, safe. So good hustle by the youngster. He got there, and the second baseman picked the ball up. First baseman went for it. Pitcher was a hair late. Nobody there. Second baseman had to hold it for a click, and that allows Colin Daly to hustle down the line. So here's Elliott, and he hits a line drive knocked down by the third baseman. Throw off target. Collins going to hustle into third. Runners on the corner. Still nobody out. So Elliott, sinking line drive. Third baseman couldn't corral it. Tried to throw from his knees. Threw a screwball over here. Safe, and here's Adam Sadeh. So Taft suddenly has their offense clicking here. And Adam takes a strike, and somebody found us on YouTube. And there's a little nicely done. He pulled his hands in and just punched it over the infield. Adam Sadeh ties the game up. And this is a good-looking swing here. See how he pulls his hands in and just let the barrel do the work. And we are all tied at 4. Still nobody out, first and second. And there's a little bit of a fly ball, runner's tag. Center fielder stumbled, and that'll allow the runner to get to third. So they did end up advancing one of the runners. So brings up Danny Ramos. Runners on the corner, 1 out. Brand new ball game, tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 4th. 4-4 in the 4th. Cullen, I may have to put you to work. You may have to pop over to our Facebook page and drop a comment in there if anybody wants to watch the high school game that we're on YouTube, not Facebook. So there, Tyler grabs a strike. Taft looking for their first lead. Little fly ball. Don't know if it's deep enough. It's caught. The runner's going to try it. Throw to the plate. Cut off. And Taft, 4-run inning, has taken their first lead of the ball game, 5-4. And the runner at first tagged and went to second. So it brings up Jason Burgos, and he can pad this lead with a hit. The runner took off, swung and he missed, no contact, and he dives in under. So they had the hit and run on. That was pretty gutsy. I don't think you need it with 2 outs. There's a little flare. Rowan is there. Belly catch. But in the inning, they push 4 across and they take the lead. And we're going to head to the 5th, the new sheriff in town. And it's Taft. And what I was saying was putting a hit and run on with a guy on second is certainly unorthodox. And I'm not sure it's necessary with a 1-1 count. I'd rather have my hitter be able to wait for a pitch that he wants to hit instead of going with a preconceived notion there, because on a base hit, he's going to score from second if it hits the grass. And even on an infield play, if there's an error or an overthrow, he's going to score. So that was kind of an odd time to do it. So here's the top of the lineup in Tyler as Payton finds themselves trailing for the first time in the ballgame. And Tyler continues to stay hot. And now there's a high throw, and Tyler was thinking too the minute he saw the throw come in. Was a little too tall for the first baseman. Aggressive base running puts the tying run at second. And you can see Tyler, the minute he saw the throw was high, he was already turning to run. And it brings up Nick. And Nick, a little chopper to third, makes the play, strong throw across, not in time, and just gets in. As he almost, his momentum again, kids, we talk all the time, if you're going to go to third, got to get the seat dirty, got to slide there, that way you don't almost fall off the bag. And now here's a timeout, they're going to get the base squared away. So tying run at third with one out here for Jack. Infield playing kind of tight. And there's just a little roller. So clearly they wanted to tie the ball game up. He does his job, hit the slow roller to third. And we are in the fifth. We got more symmetry, 5-5 in the fifth. So aggressive base running by Tyler set the whole inning up. Third baseman, nice pick there by the first baseman. But they do tie the game up. As Jared slipped a little bit. So this turned into a pretty good one, a little back and forth here. And if anybody's watching us on YouTube and watching Farragut and Lane Tech, feel free to drop a score in on the comments. So it's going to be 11-1-2, the pitcher Calvin, then Lucas and Chris. So we got a little seesaw going on here. Two very good, very successful CPS programs fighting it out to get to the championship. And that pitch is a little deep, and Tyler has lost the strike zone a couple of times in this game, and you can tell there he kind of lost a little confidence, may still be winded from running the bases, although at this age you would hope not. And now they're going to run for the pitcher with number 5. See if I can dig up a name for him. And top of the lineup, that is Sanchez running at first. And there he punches it opposite field. And nice play by the left fielder to get Lucas Espinoza. And he'll bring up Chris Gonzalez. So now, as I like to always point out, as you get deeper in a ball game, your defense becomes more important. And there's a little chopper to second. He'll take the out. Does push the lead run over to second. And now 2 outs for Carlos Gonzalez, the lefty. And I think sometimes the parents get a little more nervous than the kids.
Hey, we're looking to score here.
And of course,
Get off! Get off!
these kids all got long careers ahead of them. And there's a ground ball to short. And they call him out at first for the third out. And kids, we say all the time, don't slide or dive into the bag. You lose speed. That was bang, bang. Had he run through it, he might have had an opportunity to beat that out. Instead, a scoreless half inning. We're going to head to the top of the 6th, all tied at 5. And it is going to be Rowan, Evan, and Curtis for Payton here. And Rowan swings and hits a base hit to center field. So Rowan on. And I make that comparison. He's got hair as long as Tyler McCulloch from Signature. So here's Evan. And Evan floats it to center, caught. Long throw across, not in time. Evan back easily. And he gets timeout. And I like what Evan did there, or Rowan did there. Came back hard slide instead of trying to stay up. And that brings up Curtis. Because had he tried to stay up, his momentum could have taken him off the bag. And you can see the way Rowan is taking his lead off. He's making sure that Calvin on the hill is actually going home. And there's a strike. You mean this guy? And there's a walk. So, a little something brewing here. As Curtis draws the walk, brings up Neal now with 2 base runners on and only 1 out.
Ball's on the ground, you gotta go.
And that almost hit Gio in the leg. That would have put Calvin in the doghouse for sure. He certainly is not shy. I think the umpire's telling him now that was your second, in essence, hesitation. He comes right home. There's a little grounder, and they're going to get the fielder's choice. No real harm there, as he had to stop and not get hit by the ball. So I don't think he would have made it to second anyway. But there are now 2 outs. And here's Leo. Now the pressure on the infield. Any type of a bobble or an error here put Payton back up top. And there's a strike. So 2-2 count.
You're good.
And there's a little soft flare, and it drops. Lead run scores, throw to third, and he is going to be out. But they take the lead on a 2-out base hit by Leo as he floated it over the infield beautifully. And they were able to get him at third. But Payton in the 6th scratches out the lead.
Hey, Rowan, your way. Curtis, right.
Bottom 6, 6-5, Payton. So now Taft needs to answer again. And it brings up Andrew Carolus, be followed by Colin Daly and Elliot Bresnahan. Again, I do not have last names for the Payton players, so if you're wondering why I haven't done that, now you know. Sky-high pop-up, and that is caught. Here's Connor Daly. Again, I think if you're Taft now, because of your history and having taken that lead and then fallen behind late, and there's a ground ball. Nice hop, and he throws it away. So the short center, all kinds of time there. It looked like he was just trying to ease it over, and instead of kind of throwing it, he kind of shot-putted it. Puts the tying run on for Brian DeCastris. And he skies a pop-up. Third baseman camping under it makes the catch. And it brings up Adam Sadea.
Evan, your way last time. Neil, back your way, both ways.
And the runner goes. Little ground ball up the middle. Short center. And again, we got another guy diving head first. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, folks, but you're not getting there any faster. They've done studies on it. Got to run hard through, and I know it's an instinct. People want to dive, but you're better off letting your legs propel you versus trying to go airborne. So the umpire gonna straighten out the bag a little bit. So top of the seventh here as we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Brings up Shanta, and Shanta delivers a base hit. So leadoff man on, Payton trying to get themselves a little insurance. Again, this is a rematch of last year's championship game.
Get some insurance, Payton.
And Tyler hits it hard. He will move the runner. So he was trying to go up the middle hole. Good job by the short center. Caught a break. The ball popped right up about belt high, and he made the play. That's going to bring up Nick now, runner in scoring position with one out.
Good on.
The other game has concluded. We will start a new stream for the championship. So 2-out walk puts runners at first and second for Jack, the third place hitter. And this is a big out if you're Taft, trailing by one. You don't want to make your seventh any harder than it needs to be. And he grabs a strike, 2-2. Now, ideally, you want this to be the pitch of decision. You don't want to go full where those runners will be moving as soon as the release. And there's a little ground ball. Shortstop, a little fumble, safe. Bases are loaded, and the inning will continue. And that's going to bring up Jared. Jared has a solo home run in the ball game. And they are still kind of playing Jared short. And Tony Scriven, I have not seen Tommy Angston here today. I think he is over there, but he's got Tony going out to talk to his pitcher. Hey, what's up, Smoke?
What's that? Who's the home team?
Taft. 6-5, top of the seventh. Payton's winning. Yeah. So the bases are loaded. Big point in the ball game here. Base hit could put Payton up by 2 or 3. And there's a hard ground ball, and it sneaks through. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run. Play at third, cut off. Big hit there as he pounds it through the infield. Jared coming through. Solo homer, 2 RBIs on that swing. And it's 8-5, Payton. And it brings up Rowan. And you still got second and third. So we told you defense takes on a increased importance as the game goes on. And there's a little flare caught. Oh, my bad. There was only 1 out. Nice play there by the short center. Timed it perfectly. And it brings up Evan.
Let's go, Payton. Let's go.
And Evans swings and he drives it. Base hit. 2 more in. And Payton has doubled him up at 10-5 here. 5 and dime. And it brings up Curtis. And there's a little grounder. Calvin cuts it off. And that'll be the 3rd out. So do or die, bottom of the 7th, coming up for Taft. And they need 5 to extend the game. 6 gets them to the championship. Anything less, and Payton will keep their dream of a repeat alive. 10-5. So here comes Taft.
So my math says 10.
Let's get the scoreboard out here, bro. Yeah.
I put the clutch case how they put
Taft made the comeback, briefly led 5-4. But Payton been here before. A few of these kids played on last year's team. And there's a high pop-up. Left fielder camped underneath it, and he'll make the catch. So leadoff man Brian DeCastris pops up, and it brings up Danny Ramos. Taft down to their last 2 outs in this game. And Taft has been rolling. They won their conference. And there's a pop-up, and that's out number 2. And they have been scoring runs in the playoffs, but again, part of the problem we talked about a little bit earlier in the ball game, they have not really barreled up as much as you'd like, and with 2 outs, they keep the game alive as Jason Burgos flips a hit toward right center. And it brings up the pitcher, Calvin. And you know Taft would love to get to the top of their lineup here and maybe get a crack at it.
I like that.
Full count. Burgos will be running on the release. Down to their last out strike, and there's a pop-up. Left fielder makes the catch, and Payton will play for the championship. So they led 4-1. They fell behind 5-4, and then they scored the last 6 runs of the ball game, and Taft is eliminated and will not make it to the championship for the first time in the last 4 years.